show when the writer's strike and the actor's strike happened, and I said, "Hey, man, John Cena and The Rock, they might as well go back to WWE. They ain't got nothing else to do."
Makes sense.
And The Rock appeared on Smackdown on Friday because
that man is in pure rehab mode right now. Like after them Black Adam tank, like he's in get back seat now. So
The Rock's appearance on Smackdown was like the biggest social media viewership that WWE has had, I think, ever. It was like over 1 million and like 100 million different impressions of just his segment on Smackdown.
So many bleeps.
Fox wasn't playing with that.
It sound like Eric said, sound like old Tech Power.
Dude used to be so mad with the beats, man. He used to had his little notepad.
Like, come on, man.
Cause we only bleeped out nigga. That was the only thing. He was sitting there writing it. Come on, y'all, man.
He almost kicked us out of the studio when Seth came through.
He came hot too with him.
But The Rock appeared on Friday's episode of SmackDown. Earlier on Friday, The Rock made an appearance on Pat McAfee's new ESPN show, and he discussed the possibility of returning at this past year's WrestleMania in a match against Roman Reigns. He said it was a handshake. WrestleMania 39, he was supposed to go and fight Roman Reigns, but then it fell apart. Mm-hmm. With The Rock appearing on well, one, if you know wrestling, when you're talking about things that didn't happen, normally it's for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he appears on SmackDown.
That's what made me turn it on.
Me too. When I got a text,
when I saw him on, man, I was like, "Oh, he probably gonna be on SmackDown."
No, they were in Boulder.
Yeah, it only made sense
in Denver.
It's like less than an hour away. I was like, "Yeah, he gonna be on SmackDown."
Sam texted me, Tim's wife, my bestie. She texted me. She was like, "You about to SmackDown?" with the little eye emojis, and I said, "No, Noman's not home. Like I wasn't watching it." She go, "Girl, The Rock on here." I said, "Let me turn this on real quick. I'm gonna just watch this little part." I'm turning her back off, but. With all this being said, the writer's strike, actor strike, John Cena's back in WWE. We know he's going to be there at least until the end of October. The Rock hasn't said, like, hey, I'm making more appearances, whatever the case may be. But just mentioned Roman. We saw Young Rock, where he had a little teaser in that show about them fighting each other. Do y'all think that we're heading towards a Roman Reigns versus The Rock match at WrestleMania 40? And are you still interested in seeing that match? Because my initial thoughts was I was like, this storyline with the bloodline has gone so far now that they can tell it without The Rock being in it. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I didn't think the storyline would last. Are we in year 3 now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I didn't think we would be here this long. So, like, if whoever's the creative team behind the bloodline storyline, Roman and Paul and whoever else in the back is doing this, I'm sure there's a way they can put The Rock back into it. That makes so much sense. But do y'all want to see it?
So when he was on McAfee, like I texted my brother, and I'm like, I feel like the moment passed because like they set up, like 40 is Cody's moment. Like they've already set that up. Like that's what it seems like they're building towards. Like that is the star-making vehicle for Cody Rhodes. Like the storyline doesn't really make sense if like finishing the story doesn't actually happen at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Well, it's next year WrestleMania.
But it's like, can you really string it out in a year and a half from now? Like it mechanically, it just feels like the story kind of has to be Cody. Then SmackDown happened. The Rock was there. The reaction was the reaction. I'm like, fuck it, I'm in. I'm like, yo, it's The Rock, it's Roman Reigns. They got new ownership. Yeah. There's no way that they're gonna be like, oh no, maybe we should, Cody got to finish the story. That's what we said. Like,
they say, sorry, like, Cody.
The Rock says he wants to do it. We're gonna pay The Rock to do it because we're gonna make it back tenfold. So, I wasn't interested in it, but like, first of all, like I fuck with everything that the bloodline has done thus far. So if they have the story, then let's do the story. I do think it screws Cody, but sorry for you.
Yeah, I'm not here for
it. Because of Cody.
Yeah, just because of Cody. I do feel like the moment has passed. Again, like I trust the process and I trust the storytelling. Because like it's been amazing. Like it's literally been the best thing in wrestling the past like 3 years. It just got to make sense. Because then Cody's story doesn't make sense. So it's just like, that's the only thing. Like, if we can make it all. If everything can make sense, and Cody like, because then Rock and Roman, then who Cody has to wrestle somebody in night one. We go. You
We
can't.
don't know yet.
That's what I'm
the
saying.
thing,
So
yeah.
it's just like who, what,
And
like,
Cody's
what's going-
already on record saying like that's a belt.
Yeah, he's
He's
not
like,
going
no,
for that.
I'm going for the title that Roman got.
What if Roman Rock is the title match? What if
He already.
It's just
What if
tribal or
Rock
something.
screws Roman at Royal Rumble? Cody wins. Cody gets the dope. You get Rock and Roman at
I mean, there's
Mania still.
there's ways you can get to it.
and Cody still gets his dope.
But does it like take
It
something
just won't
off
culminate at
of-
WrestleMania.
Right. Like, does it take something off it where it's like it's not Mania though?
It's a big
Yeah,
four,
then
though.
it's like who does Cody fight at Mania then if he already
winner of the
beat
Royal Rumble.
Yeah, like then it just becomes a wrestling story.
Yeah, that's what
You
I'm
know
saying.
what I mean?
Then
Like,
it
it's
ain't
not the crowning achievement. That's what I'm saying. Like
Ooh,
for Mania,
ooh,
I mean-
I see Nerd World
Hey,
Order
what's going
in the
on?
chat.
What up?
He's saying the IWC is saying Phil might show up. Listen, let me be frank with you.
Come on, man. I know he ain't talking about CM Punk.
He is talking
Yes.
about CM Punk.
Hey, bro, get off our line. Nobody care about no CM Punk. Man.
CM Punk's pop if he came back to WWE would be
It'd be huge.
It'd be a
Boom.
huge pop.
Boo.
But like, I don't see him just
Trash.
jumping into the main event picture if he did come back. But I will say this:
Put
with
him in the
the-
ring with Cody. Get him out of here.
I will say this with the Cody aspect of it. I mentioned, I think we were talking about last week. Was that just us talking? I don't remember if it was on the show or not. But with with Cody being the one to bring Jay over to Raw, I think that kind of keeps him somewhat tied into the bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that little thread is nice. I love the segment they had with Kevin Owens where he's like, "Let me just talk to you. Why would you bring him here?"
Yeah.
I love seeing baby faces all in the ring together, but one being like, "I don't rock with this decision that you made." Sammy like, "Oh, I mean, it's cool. I mean, like, hey, everybody's getting a
That's my
chance."
man. That's my guy.
And Kevin Owens sitting there looking like, "Yeah, all right." Like the way right now in wrestling, I'm not gonna act like I have been super invested in the whole picture of wrestling. The bloodline has been the piece that's kept me coming back.
Mhm.
But now seeing what's been happening with Seth Rollins, seeing how big Seth is,
Okay.
seeing the way they have repackaged my boy Shinsuke Nakamura. I love this heel version of Shinsuke.
Mhm.
Seeing his star power there, seeing what's going on with Judgment Day, who I was not sold on at first,
No, it works.
but it works. And the heat that Dominic gets cracks me up every time
This
because
man
the man
can't even
can't
cut
talk.
a promo.
They're
He can't
just
say
booing
nothing.
over him. Like they're heading in a direction that can be really, really exciting for wrestling. And then Jade Cargill's probably coming over
Oh,
to
cannot
WWE.
wait.
I heard she in the Performance Center this week. So
I'm like Tim, give it to me.
Bianca's been out. Like she gonna come back soon. Like there's so many different pieces here.
Give us that for Mania.
You're right.
Give
Rhea
it.
was the key. Triple T
Yeah,
also added that he
she
hopes
was.
Roman and The Rock make an appearance when they come here.
Hope
SmackDown
so.
will be
That'd
in
be lit.
Milwaukee October 27th. They have already announced that Roman will be at SmackDown in Milwaukee
Mm-hmm.
along with John Cena. We have not heard about The Rock, but hopefully, like you said,
Yeah, that would be dope.
like on some hater shit. Like just because I know, like if The Rock comes, I'm mad.
I will pass out if The Rock is there.
Pass
I'm
out. That's funny.
Hey, Noman, listen, I'm gonna tell you right now. If we at SmackDown and we hear the if you smell, you better be ready to catch me. I will, hand on forehead,
It's gonna look like a Michael Jackson concert.
and our seats might be on TV. You might see me actually pass out on the
Right there, let me come here.
I said The Rock. That would be Sam doing it. Don't let me and Sam. Man, listen. Anywho, wrestling's kind of exciting right now. I should also mention the fact I mentioned that John Cena's back, but Batista also came out and said, "Hey, listen, WWE,
He's an actor.
if y'all have some need for me, if you think of a storyline that's interesting, I'm not about to wrestle." Batista is very clear about that. He said, "I have retired from in-ring competition. My last match was against Triple H. That's it. But if y'all want me to come back for some other storyline development, like manage, whatever it might be, like I'm open to that.
No.
I'm here for it.
If you're not gonna wrestle,
He ain't gonna
though,
wrestle. If he was wrestling, then I would be like, absolutely not. But because that was terrible.
What we need him back for? If he
I don't know. That's what he said. If there's a storyline that makes sense, he said, I will come back.
I'm
I'm not gonna act like I'm not gonna be excited to see Batista.
I missed his run too.
I
Did
wasn't
you?
really watching
Batista
either.
run was nice.
Yeah, I didn't even
The animal was
I saw some of Evolution.
We were talking about it before off air where I was like, there were characters that I thought were mean until like I actually watched it, and we were talking about like TikTok and stuff. But Batista's one of those where I wasn't watching wrestling during his entire run. I just assumed he looked like a heel, so I just assumed he was heel that entire time. So then when I went back and
And saw you
went
wasn't the
back
whole
and
time.
looked into it, it was like, no, dude was a face for pretty much the entirety of his run. Wow.
Yeah.
Or, you know,
Give me what I want.
That isn't what I want.
Give me what I want.